The Restaurant at the End of the Universe is a science fiction novel and the second book of the ever-deceivingly named Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy trilogy, deceiving as it has a grand total of 5 books written by Douglas Adams, though a 6th book was written by Eoin Colfer, who also wrote the Artemis Fowl series in 2008 after Mr. Douglas's death in 2001. To sum up the Hitchhiker series in one word, that word would be random. And this second book is certainly no exception. To explain, I would like to sum up a fairly large portion of the first part of the book. Be warned, there are spoilers ahead. Now, to sum up the section as quickly as possible. Arthur Dent, Ford Prefect, Zaphod Beeblebrox, Trillian, and Marvin the Depressed Robot all almost die because of a cup of tea. But, at the last possible moment, they and their ship, the Heart of Gold, are seemingly teleported to an unknown location. The ship won't function at all, Zaphod and Marvin have disappeared, and a note has been left saying, "Wait." Zaphod, in the meantime, has appeared on what seems to be Ursa Minor Beta, the planet location of the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy headquarters. There, Zaphod is told by a repressed memory to seek out Mr. Zarniwoop. So he goes to the Hitchhiker's Guide offices and asks to see this person. He is told by the front desk that Mr. Zarniwoop is on an intergalactic cruise, but in his office. Then, after a long argument about where Mr. Zarniwoop actually is, Zaphod finds out that his office is on the 15th floor and goes to the elevator. At which point Marvin appears and says to the front desk that he is looking for Zaphod and points out immediately thereafter that he is over by the elevator, then goes and joins him. The intelligent elevator at first refuses to go to the desired floor because it can see the future and is scared of it. After much arguing, the elevator finally goes up and leaves them on the 15th floor. After they are left, the building starts shaking and Zaphod determines that the building is being bombed. It, in fact, is not being bombed, but rather is being uprooted and flown to Frogstar World B by the Intergalactic Police because Zaphod has stolen the starship Heart of Gold. Zaphod is instructed by Mr. Rusta to climb out of the window and not go out the door once they land. Mr. Rusta is the person they found in Zarniwoop's office rather than Zarniwoop himself. He also disappeared just before they landed. After they land, Zaphod and Marvin retreat out the window where they are greeted by a spirit who is supposed to escort them to the Total Perspective Vortex. The Total Perspective Vortex is supposed to put your importance in perspective to the importance of everything else, which ends up leading to the crushing of the soul, which inevitably leads to death. The spirit and Zaphod end up striking up conversation on their way to the vortex, and in this conversation, the spirit reveals that he is currently on the brink of divorce with his own body. When they arrive at the Total Perspective Vortex and Zaphod is thrown in, he doesn't die, but walks out rather confused. This is because the Vortex had simply told him that he himself was the most important thing in the universe. The spirit, baffled, said that he had to report this to their headquarters on Frogstar World A, but was willing to give him a head start if he desired to escape. Zaphod, who takes up this invitation, ends up finding a small ship whose programming has been stuck waiting for napkins from an outside source for the past 900 years. And it has been keeping its passengers alive through that whole time in a suspended animation. Zaphod starts arguing with the ship that there are in fact no napkins coming, when Mr. Zarniwoop walks in and explains that they are in an alternate universe contained in his briefcase. This universe's sole purpose of existing is for Zaphod to come to it. Zarniwoop also explains that the Heart of Gold has been shrunk down and is in the pocket of Zaphod's jacket and would return to its original size once the alternate universe has been turned off. So, Zarniwoop turns off the alternate universe and the ship returns to its original size with everyone still in it. Zaphod goes in and finds that since the alternate universe was turned off, the computer is working again. So, he commands the computer to take him to the nearest restaurant. Then, in 4 puffs of smoke, Zaphod, Ford, Arthur, and Trillian are gone. And there you have it. That's random, right? The only thing I can possibly compare this book to is the rest of the books in its series, as I have yet to read something as weird and random as this. Not to mention, the writing style used is so matter-of-fact that it leaves you laughing at how the impossible aspects are made to seem so simple and straightforward. So, yeah, that's The Restaurant at the End of the Universe. You should totally read it. But make sure you read The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy first. Don't worry, it's just as fun and exciting as this one. Now, I must say goodbye. So long, and thanks for all the fish.